Hi, I'm Darby Kern. I am the writer and director and creator of the Jake Muller Adventures. We are here at Gap Digital Studios in Wheaton, and we're recording the fourth and fifth Jake Muller Adventures. Fourth one is called Engineered. It's about social engineering in a large sense, and some of the truths about things like Israel and their place in biblical history and their place in future biblical history, I guess, if you want. Shroud is a different kind of adventure for Jake and for our series. Little bit different. There's a lot of storylines that are going to converge in Shroud that we've been building up to since Unidentified, which was the first one. We just decided it was time to give you some answers. But, you know, when it ends, there's going to be some more questions, and that's not a bad thing. It's a lot of action, a lot of humor. It's like the whole Jake Muller Adventures. We wanted to tell an adventurous story that's kind of fun, a little more grown up than some of the audio dramas that are out there, not foul in any way, and not cynical in any way either. God always wins. Jake Muller doesn't always win, but God always comes through, and Jake learns a lesson. The idea of Jake Muller came to me probably about 10 years ago now. I don't really remember exactly because it was not a eureka moment. It was more, I had this image in my head of a man running across a lake in a blizzard. And I figured there had to be a reason he was doing it. And I came up with this story where he finds this young lady on this frozen lake in the middle of a storm, and there are no footsteps to where she's going. So it's like she fell right out of the sky. And after that, things started moving a little quicker. I figured out the story, what it was going to be about, and we created some characters, and we've had a great time with it. I found my co-producer and really partner on the entire show, full partner on the show, Micah Touche, through an Audio Drama Alliance board. I just put it out there. Does anybody want to try to sound design a show? And he answered. And you know, there has never been a clearer answer to prayer than that, I think, in my life, probably, because Micah is absolutely the right guy for this show. And he's a great friend. He's a great sound designer, and he is so talented. His instincts are good. If I don't listen to him, I'm making a big mistake, and I have made some mistakes with it. And Micah is always right. He's kind of like my wife that way. What the show is largely about is spiritual warfare and various forms of it. I want to really show everybody that this is a real thing. You know, it's not something you see in The Exorcist and The Omen or some movies or supernatural TV shows. It's a real thing, and it's important that Christians understand this because we are the front line of the battle. If you're not fighting, you might want to start asking yourself some hard questions. For people who are not believers, you need to know that there is a spiritual element to this entire world. We don't live in a naturalistic world like people want to believe. We live in a supernatural world. God is supernatural, and he is above all of this. And he has a plan. He's had a plan from the very beginning. I want people to understand that. For Christians, I want them also to chart Jake's growth as a believer as he goes through this. He starts in a very low place, not really thinking so much about spiritual things. And at one point in the first episode, he asks his nephew to pray for him. And that's a big step for him. So from there, he learns lessons, and he continues to learn lessons through the whole series. That's what it's about. They're hard lessons. I still have a lot of lessons to learn, and I'm learning some of them as I work on Jake Muller. But that's a very important part of who he is. I don't really think about whether or not I'm writing to a Christian or a non-Christian. I think about, first, what's a good story, and then what lessons do I want to touch on in this one. And you know, some of the lessons are the same to believers and non-believers. But you know, again, we want growth from a Christian, and we want to get the people who are not yet Christians to understand that there is this option that is very important, and the decision that they have to make is very important. And obviously, we want them to know what they're getting into before they do it. You know, even one of the characters in this show starts as a non-believer, and he's someone that's been in the series from the very beginning, and he's been asking himself questions all along, and now he has to make his final decision. Is he going to, you know, is he going to surrender his life to Jesus and live for him, or is he going to continue to live for himself and all the other things he believes in? I'm not going to tell you what the answer is, but you can probably figure it out. One of the things that I've learned very clearly is that I'm just a small part of something. I have written things that actors have taken over from me. The character of Jake Muller doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to Dugan Sherbandi, who plays him, and he really has embraced that and really done a great job with it. But other characters that I've written about, you know, put words on a page, have really come to life, and I've actually got a greater understanding of what I wrote for that person to say when I hear an actor say it. I know that sounds weird, and I'm not saying that I'm divinely inspired like the scripture is divinely inspired, but I think that I've been blessed to write some things that have spiritual truths for me too to understand. Biggest thing I've learned is that I am still growing myself. I'm still learning. I hope I continue to learn. I hope I continue to be teachable for the rest of my life, because when I leave this world, I'm not going to know it all. Is Jake Muller done after this? Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. I have a board at home with ideas for stories, and the next two after Shroud are already plotted out a bit. So there's going to be big things happen, big lessons to be learned, and there may even be a wedding in the future somewhere. You can find Jake Muller on multiple platforms. It's on Audible. You can find it on Amazon.com. I would love it if you went to www.jakemulleradventures.com and purchased it there. It's better for us, but you're also going to find a whole bunch of swag. There's shirts, there's study guides, really well-written study guides written by Greg Uttinger. He's fantastic, and he really digs into these episodes and writes a fantastic study guide. Shirts, CDs, downloads, mugs, coffee mugs, all kinds of things, just fun stuff. Maybe even some hats there. Yeah, and when you contribute to that by, you know, purchasing a coffee mug or whatever it is, you are directly contributing to more Jake Muller Adventures. So that's why I would ask you to do that. I know some of the other places might be a little bit cheaper, but you know, we're not going to take the revenue from Audible and make more Jake Muller Adventures. So come on over to www.jakemulleradventures.com.